Thank you for staying with us. It's time now to take a look at stories making headlines on the front pages of Nigerian newspapers. And I begin with the Nigeria News Direct. It says Naira redesign, Nigerians groan over failed online transactions. Fate hangs as Supreme Court adjourns till March the 3rd. Filling stations, fast food joints reject online transfer. RFI deploys free transport medical services for Kaduna residents. You find all the details on the front page of the Nigerian News Direct. To the front page of the Daily Trust now. At final peace accord signing, Buhari urges candidates to accept election outcome. Security Council to INEC go ahead with polls as sensitive materials arrive states. Details on the front page of the Daily Trust. To the Punch newspaper now. INEC distributes election materials as Buhari meets security chiefs. President warns INEC security agents against failure. Hand over 12 billion naira security equipment. And to the front page of the First News newspaper, election dates sacrosanct, says Security Council, expresses satisfaction with level of security nationwide. Council briefed by service chiefs about readiness to provide security cover for elections. Mike.
All right, I have this Nigeria next, and it says polls, 48 hours to go. Frenzy, tension, horse trading across parties. Still a 3-horse race of Tinubu, Atiku, and Obi. That's what it has there, this Nigeria. From that, let's go to Blueprint newspaper. 72 hours to presidential polls. Kalu rules out Obi, says Nigeria not ready for Igbo presidency. That's what you see there. Claims Wike, Ikpeazu, Ugwani, Makinde working for Tinubu. And I will defeat APC flag bearer Saturday. Atiku boasts. You see all that on the front page of the Blueprint newspaper, right? Now, The Nation is next. The Nation newspaper is next. Why I seek your mandate to be president by Tinubu. APC candidate writes Nigerians. 155 North Christian leaders pledge support. Okay? All that you see on the front page of The Nation newspaper. Leadership is next. Leadership newspaper says 2023 polls, I'll be neutral as I was in Edo, Ekiti, Anambra, Osun, as PMB is saying this. I'll be neutral as I was in Edo, Ekiti, Anambra, Osun, as President Muhammadu Buhari is saying that you didn't obey previous peace accord. Abdulsalami tells candidates and blames party spokesperson or spokesmen for violation. You must accept the outcome. Jonathan is saying this. Atmosphere right for election. Security Council is saying this. All this you see on the front page of the Leadership newspaper. Business Day is the last one we're looking at now. Business Day newspaper. It says Nigeria's economy slows in 2022 as agri-industry sectors disappoint. Nigeria's economy slows in 2022 as agri-industry sectors disappoint. All right, that's what you see on the front page of a Business Day newspaper.
All right, gentlemen, let's look at the story on the front page of the Daily Trust, talking about the final peace accord that was signed by all the presidential candidates that would be part of the elections on Saturday. They signed a peace accord in Abuja yesterday, and present at that peace accord were members of the Security Council as well as a former president of South Africa, Thabo Mbeki. He was there, and there are those who have said the peace accord does not necessarily do anything, so there's no essence signing all of this peace accord because there's no law backing this signing of peace accords, because like Abdul Salam said yesterday, he said you haven't obeyed all of the peace accords that were signed leading up to the election. So what will be different now, Sam?
Well, there's law, there's convention, and people say that without convention the laws probably won't be of any value, because what is important in the law is not the law itself, but those who abide by the law and by the people. It's the spirit of the law that is important. And the spirit of the law is where the convention means, which means that I'm happy to abide by the law because it's the right thing to do.
Right.
It's not because of the law in itself. The American writer Thoreau said the law never made any man a whit more just. So it's not the law itself that is important, but we have the laws in order to confirm our own attitudes. So that's why, they said the Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath. The law was made for man, not man for the law. So if you make it for man, and man is not ready for it, the man is of no consequence. Hillary Lehman, the former Ghanaian leader, he said, no law, no document can change the country unless the people are ready to change themselves. So the politicians are signing it as a symbolic representation of their own desire to become peaceful people. And if they don't sign it, it will be a kind of defiance already. So it's good that they signed it. But the point is whether their hearts have also signed it.
Right.
That's more important. Because in those days, during the American Revolution, Benjamin Franklin said the revolution was in the hearts and minds of the American people. So the thing has to be in the mind first before you write it down.
Yes.
You have to exteriorize the feeling that is inside by writing.
Mike,
Yeah.
your perspective.
Yeah, the point there is, I totally agree that as much as it's not part of the law, there is no formal law backing it, but the point there is it has come to stay. And like Sam was talking about conventions, there are sometimes our convention are a collection of things that we agree that becomes a norm to be binding on us in a subtle way. Eventually, they could become laws. Maybe someday, as the case may be. We know that Britain has unwritten constitution, and they have all agreed. This is how, and it has become a tradition over centuries as to how the processes of government, the business of government is carried out. It has an unwritten constitution. You understand? The issue of media debate that has become part of our system now is coming in gradually. There is no law anywhere. But the point there is Nigerians have started looking forward to the need for a media debate by candidates. Of course, when a candidate says, okay, well, I will not be part of it because I don't have the time for it now, I have other schedules as the case may be.
No, I don't trust you.
Oh, I don't, exactly. Or I don't trust the platform, and so on. Of course, a candidate may have the right, but maybe a time will come where if you don't participate in the media debate, the voters could punish you. Maybe we'll get there. But the point there is there are no laws. But the point there is, like Sam has said, it is in the mind of the people. The moment we are beginning to see that this peace accord is becoming important as a symbolic gesture of your submission to the fact that whatever this election brings out, so long as the process is free and fair, I will accept. All of those things send very, very good signals to followers sometimes, to douse tension. You see how every time we're preparing for election, it looks like we're preparing for war. In other climes, it is like a festival. Everybody's waiting for that day, to cast their ballot, because on the day of election, there'll be canopies, there'll be music, there'll be food, there'll be drink. In some countries, we've seen them.
Rufai is providing transportation and facility.
Free transportation.
Yeah,
exactly.
So, and the other people are saying, no, he's trying to rig the election. We're going to provide your own too.
But we have even seen in Lagos.
In Lagos.
We've seen in Lagos. In fact, the report was done, I think one of our reporters went to, VGC area during the 2019 election. And we saw how people by themselves brought out canopies. Yeah. Some persons brought food, others brought music, drinks, and it was a festival.
In those days, in the US, it used to be like that. Candidates.
I think even in South Africa.
In South Africa, of course.
In the days of Jefferson, they used to do it in the US. Everybody provide your own. You provide food and drinks for those who are coming to vote and so on. They don't do that anymore in the US, but. They used to do so.
But even in some villages, we've heard of a village in Benue where the traditional ruler, the ruler of the village, decided to cook pounded yam for people, especially for the visitors who came.
That's a lot of pounded
Yeah,
yam.
of course, there's a lot of
The
pounded. They have a lot of
What's that soup again?
election observers.
What's that soup again?
There is Okoho soup, there is Ihia soup, there is Ative and so many other soup in Benue that you can enjoy. You know, so the point.
You guys have to do a good job of importing and evangelizing this.
No, of course, you will be evangelized. The point there is, at least you have,
one of the evangelists.
you have the pounded yam now. So
Yes.
we are starting from that one. All the other soups will come. So the point there is, you see people coming, the feeling that they have, this election, let us enjoy ourselves. That feeling is more important than the letter of what the law says about what election should be, and so on. The moment we have that disposition, then it creates a platform, an atmosphere of peace, friendship, and all of that. Whatever the election comes up with, all of us, we accept. So that's what this peace accord
is about.
It symbolizes. That we have all agreed that whatever the thing is, Nigeria is bigger than all of us. And whatever, in fact, the interest that we have all brought out to contest for this election shows that we love this country and we want to take it to another level. So the symbolism is a strong one, and it's a striking
Absolutely.
one.
And the president made a statement saying, urging the candidates to accept the outcome and that he will be as neutral as possible.
Yeah, it's very important because, the NSA has hinted that there might be violence before, during, and after the elections. And the fear is usually after the elections, increasingly because nobody can snatch ballot boxes, because it's like violence. What this writer Rich called motiveless malignity, because if you snatch ballot boxes, it has no value because the figures are already electronically transferred. So it's after the elections that we fear that there might be some fracas, but we hope that heads will be settled and people will settle down to the reality of a well-conducted election.
Right. We have seen the presence of security personnel across the country. We've seen some persons in Lagos, and some persons have reported that they're seeing the presence of all of the security personnel in some of these states, which we can call flashpoints at some point. I wonder how you see that, because sometimes we say that, the presence of these people actually makes some persons afraid of going out to cast their ballot and all of that. By now, Nigerians should have gotten used to that, I want to believe.
Yeah, the point there is we will always state categorically that the military has no duty at elections, ideally. But you see, because whatever happens at the elections, Nigeria must move forward. And the president has come up with the disposition that I don't want to meddle in this whole system, but I want Nigeria to succeed after the election. He has said that, in fact, his body language has said that, he has said that verbally and also with his body language. So in areas that you see that there's a likelihood that either there will be so much insecurity that people will not come out to vote, or people might come out to vote, and if it doesn't go in a certain way, there's going to be issues. They already have those intel. That is why they are warming up the security agencies to be sent to all of those areas. We've seen a large number of the military carrying out their own duty in their own respective places. Some of them waiting to be deployed just in case if there is need to have that. Now, the police have done their own map out. The DSS, they have also done theirs. And we are hoping they're all working together to ensure that they share intel. And in all of those places, they'll be on ground too. So it is to assure Nigerians that
give them confidence.
Come and vote. Nothing will happen. Just come and vote and then go. So long as you don't have the motive to create the insecurity, just come and do your civic duty and move away. So it is meant to assure Nigerians. As time goes on, as we were talking about elections being festivals and carnivals, as time goes on, when that thing begins to sink into our subconscious, we see election as not a do or die affair, then security agencies will start leaving elections for just civilians to carry out.
When did we even get to this point where elections became a do or die affair?
It has always been so.
It has always been so. Right from independence. It has always been so. If you check the elections, 1964 elections, and then 1966 elections, and so on and so forth, they were all issues.
We have
From regional level. In fact, worse than
this.
Worse than this. At regional levels, at local government levels, at national, there was, in fact, it was war. That was what even led to the 1966 first coup in the first place, because Nigeria couldn't recover from the impact
the Western region crisis.
The Western region crisis.
Wait here. Have you not heard of wait here?
So that's what happened. So it has always been part of us because of the suspicion that, oh, if my people are not there, I don't trust that you will work on our behalf, and things like that. But over the years and decades and all the different election cycles, we have come to see that thing, we have to demystify it. If you are the president, doesn't make your village better than mine.
Of course.
We have always said, all the states in Nigeria that have produced presidents, how better off are they than the other states? If you count Sokoto State, where Shagari came from, Kano State, where Abacha came from, Katsina State has 2 presidents, have produced 2 presidents, Ogun State, have produced a president, Anambra State has produced a president, Bauchi State has produced prime minister, as the case may be, Abia State, Bayelsa, how better off are they?
Have they become?
So the point there is all of this issue of, them, us, we, them, it doesn't mean anything. We need to demystify all of those things. Are we Nigerians? Can we conduct elections? Can our candidates run a perfect governance where people benefit from? That should be the emphasis of this thing. Because all of this issue of balancing, we've been balancing everything. How well off are Nigerians? We have balanced religion. We have balanced region. We have overbalanced everything. You understand? That balancing doesn't make anything. In fact, whether we talk about age or those are not the things. Do you have the capacity? Have you been accepted by the people? Those are the things that matter. Well, we're getting there gradually. We're starting with INEC. INEC has reformed itself over time that Nigerians have had great confidence in the outcome of whatever INEC conducts. That's where it starts from. Yes. So the moment INEC gets it right, you will see political parties will start getting it right, candidates will start getting it right, then the masses who are the voters at the end of the day, we also get it right. It's as simple as that.
It is balance without equilibrium. It's all about sentiment. And
of course.
Sentiment is more important. What you are real, that they are all reason. But human beings are sentimental.
It's true.
We are sentimental people, as,
You're right.
As Oscar Wilde said human beings prefer sentiment to reason. So we are sentimental creatures. We are not rational creatures.
It's true.
Some philosophers say we are rational creatures. When it comes to it is what you feel inside.
It's true.
We've seen INEC distributing election materials across some of the states already. It seems INEC have gotten cash already, but some Nigerians still under the cash crunch. And just yesterday, we saw the Supreme Court adjourning the matter until March.
Yes, Supreme Court has ruled. Once has still spoken and twice. So it doesn't need to say the third time. Who's the writer, Cicero? He said, to stumble twice over a stone is a proverbial disgrace. So when you move this way and you stumble and then you come back and you stumble, there must be something wrong.
Something is wrong.
Both with your eyes and with your legs.
Or maybe village people.
Or the village people. So they have said it, and now they say, okay, we are going to, because they said the interim order was until their next decision. So they have not made the decision. So the 500 and 1,000 remain legal tenders until they make a decision next week Friday. So we are waiting. I think they've decided to kick the ball along the road. They want to be safe because they don't want to be scapegoats. I don't know why a judiciary should be afraid of being tagged scapegoat or not. The judiciary is supposed to have what you call a cathedral esteem, which means you have to rise above all the gossip and malice of the streets. You have to rise above them and act as though you're not even aware of anything.
Now,
just
speaking
concentrate.
of their independence.
Yes, asserting not just your independence, but your dignity.
Right.
That's what they're supposed to do. That's why I say they are supposed to assert their own cathedral pride. Like, look, we are here. We are untouched by all of these ululations on the streets.
But where does this leave Nigerians who are somewhat still confused now? Yes, the Supreme Court has said the 500 naira and the 1,000 naira notes still remain illegal tender. We have seen even across the street some persons, videos, some persons who are still taking the old 500 naira notes, but are demanding more. For instance, if you say you have the old, they are taking the old 500 naira, 1,000 naira, maybe something is worth maybe 500 naira, they'll tell you is 1,000. If you want to use your old notes, that is what it is now that we are seeing. But then the Supreme Court, which a lot of persons were depending on, has adjourned the matter and still insisting. But the president is saying another. Where does this leave Nigeria?
Well, it leaves Nigerians in more confusion. And that is why there's now a black market for the Naira. Naira has the official rate and the black market rate now. If you want to buy the new one, there's a rate for it. If it is the old one, like you were saying, then there's a rate for it. Now, in some places, they don't accept the old notes anymore. In some other places, they run side by side. So there's a lot of confusion. It makes Nigeria look like in so many different countries within a country.
We have rogue economy.
Exactly.
So the point is that whose economy is the rogue one?
Exactly.
Is it the Buhari economy or the people's economy?
Or the people's economy.
So from Buhari, the people's economy is a rogue economy. From the people who are taking 500 and 1,000, Buhari's economy is a rogue economy.
So the point there is, it creates more confusion. And you see in some states, the governors are speaking to them, please, maintain status quo. Continue to use your, don't stress yourself over anything. Accept and work with that currency until further notice. Other people have resorted to trade by barter. You give me this, I give you that.
I give you that.
The business model that happened before the introduction of currencies, even before the introduction of cowries. So people have resorted to that now, and it creates more confusion, I must say.
All right, we'll leave the conversation here now.